The street boys of Jamaica hustle hard. Many wipe windows or sell items at the capital's major intersections. Some have become their family's primary breadwinners.
Father dead still, and my mother now work, so with all a wipe car too. Start sell a prayer now.
You have to sell and to be a thing. Can't earn the money. No money enough.
Others come to the streets to escape abuse at home.
Mother beat me up too much, miss. I'm just feel like, say, I can't take it no more, miss, and just come on the street. Come stay with my uncle more time. And more time I go sell, miss. Sell chocolate and them, and bag juice and them something there, miss. Mother have 3 children, and out of me, and me, my mother like Moses.
Some have called the streets home for many years.
I'm about 6 or 5 when on the street because I run from my mother. More while I sleep over the cemetery, and more while I sleep all on the tough floor, said we beat it out, or I just buy a one weed and go and bill, or bleach it out till the morning and I go some dance or something till it over till the morning. Still touch road again.
Boys like these are vulnerable. The administrators of the Possibilities Program and Hostel know this all too well. They've helped hundreds of at-risk boys improve their lives by providing support, education and training, and a home.
The boys we deal with, right, they're poor, which means they have needs, material needs. And what we find is some of the abuse that they're experiencing when they're on the streets is because of their needs. So somebody will come to them and give them a phone, a cell phone, and try to befriend them. And this may be the first time that anybody's really trying to give them something and to befriend them. And, you know, before you know what happens, they develop some kind of trust with that person. That person may want to abuse them sexually.
We have had reports of boys also being at risk for sexual abuse on the street. We've heard some sad stories about the boys. I've heard of certain points in Kingson where these boys can be picked up in the nice cars and taken off and then brought back. And it's very sad that persons who should know better are exploiting such a vulnerable group.
This is where the risk for HIV/AIDS increases. While some street boys are suspicious of everyone, others are overly trusting.
One day I me I sell, and I walk now, and then I say I carry. Then I go to the car and then I say, "Miss, good night, I buy anything." And then she say, "How much for chocolate?" And then I say $50, and then she say, "No, so I don't have no change." And then I start talking to her nicely. Then she ask me what my name, and then I say, "I not tell her my name till you tell me your name." And then I tell her my name. Then she ask me where I live, and then I say, "I want to come home with you tonight," and then she carry me home with her.
Nathaniel could easily have been abused. Despite the stories about street boys being sexually abused though, none of the boys we spoke to would admit to anything of the sort or knew of any other boy to whom it had happened. Rather, their own risk factors for HIV/AIDS are perhaps more influenced by the attitudes to sex they acquire on the streets. Additionally, they have little formal education about sex and sexually transmitted diseases.
Me I look at you, my mother send me go buy a condom. I suck up my nose, say, cause when she send me go buy a condom for her, me I say, "Mommy, I want name condom." She say, "Go on a shop, you know what?" I'm a go a shop and some come me know condom. I'm a pull out in a bag. And one day me I come from school. And I say, "A little boy, I chow up one condom bag." And me I say, "Bombard, the little boy, they nasty." I suck up my no condom and no said for go. I still must start ask people and them said for go over your penis and you have woman condom. If the man nah none, the woman have female condom.
The first time I try use condom still as soon as it be a big man with it, I say them start talk about it. And I said, I don't want to touch it. You know I buy some of them things. I'm going to buy some of them. I'm look be a little young girl and them things. Me and the man them look out. So enough of the young girl have dates in the scheme. Way. So I buy some. The first time I buy one pack and I put on one. You can't hold on for more. I slide six. Slide down straight at the girl something. God kill me.
Despite the lack of formal education, though, the boys are well aware of the dangers and do know how to protect themselves, although some admit their use of condoms is inconsistent.
Yeah, cause you have girl that have shot still. Any girl that have sex in the street, me use condom. My big and I must have sense. I know say, I not for use no condom for no girl. I have to use my condom. You see? I left if I know say the girl that stick around me and she love me and rate me and say yeah. I see she had every little thing for me. I can say yeah, I don't have to use a condom for the girl because I know say she want me, my youth or my daughter. Yeah, and I know say she not go let me down and go to no others man. You see? I tested about 2 times now. I tested now I'm 17, I'm tested now I'm 16. You see it? I don't have nothing. Blood rich and everything, you see it?
There are few interventions aimed specifically at educating street boys about HIV/AIDS, but they can access condoms at organizations such as Jamaica AIDS Support for Life.
Then when we do outreach and we go out on the road, we definitely talk to them about all the prevention messages that we would to a normal group. We talk to them about it. We try to listen to them to see what they're going through. We try to refer them a lot to services. We try to refer them a lot to youth development programming.
Some boys' homes and hostels also provide sex education, but first they have to gain the boys' trust.
We have boys that have come to the hostel and they won't even sleep in the bed. First couple of weeks, they'll sleep on the floor because that is what they were used to. You know, you try to hug them and it's, you know, because they've never really had anybody that they can trust, that they feel that, you know, you can hug them and it's an innocent hug. We always have somebody that comes in, deals with them about sexually transmitted diseases, sexuality, and we find that it's very important because clearly we want them to see that there is a right way and there is a wrong way. And also, more importantly, we want to ensure that they understand that it is important that they understand that there are aspects to sex that can be a real danger for them.
With the right information and access to condoms as well as counseling and testing, Jamaica's street boys can have one less thing to worry about. They can instead focus on the dreams and aspirations of youth.
I want to turn engineering on miss. I want to fix car like my uncle. Help my uncle do things too. Because more time, I dey on the road and nothing go on. And I know say the road rough, you know, miss. I know say the place rough. So, I have to take my local time and do what I have to do. You know say you can't bomb your shit, you can't turn a gunman or nothing. And I don't want to do that.